Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to sift through stacks of information, pull out those key insights, and give you that shortcut to being really well informed.
That's the goal.
Today, it's a crucial deep dive specifically tailored for you, UPSC aspirants. We're looking at key current affairs developments from July 13th, 2025. This is part one.
Exactly. And for many of you preparing diligently, some of this might be a useful revision. We might have touched on related things before.
Right.
But there will be new insights too.
Yeah.
We really want to help you connect the dots, understand the what, but also, importantly, the why.
Absolutely. We've got a fascinating mix today. India's newest UNESCO site, some green energy breakthroughs, global health talks, a lot to cover.
A real range.
So settle in. And just before we really dive in, if you find these tailored explorations helpful, please do take a moment to like and subscribe to the deep dive.
Yeah, it genuinely helps us keep bringing this content to you.
Okay, let's kick things off. Exciting news on the heritage front. India has a new UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Yes, the Maratha Military Landscape.
It's India's 44th site overall. That's huge. It places India 6th globally and 2nd in the Asia-Pacific region for the number of World Heritage Sites.
Quite an achievement.
And just a note for everyone tracking these things, the Archaeological Survey of India, they're the nodal agency for all World Heritage matters in the country.
And what's really fascinating about this specific addition is the significance of this network. 12 forts, right? Built between the 17th and 19th centuries. They show this really exceptional strategic military thinking, innovation, adaptation to the region, architectural skill. It's a clear reflection of understanding geography for defense.
Absolutely. And the geographical spread is impressive, too. You find these forts across Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu.
Right.
We're talking about sites like Sahar, Shivneri, Lohgad, Kandari, Raigad, Rajgad, Pratapgad, Savarnadurg, Pahala, Vijayadurg, Sindhudurg, all in Maharashtra.
A concentration there, but also.
And the Jinji Fort in Tamil Nadu. Quite notable. They're across all sorts of terrains, coastal, hilltop.
Which really underscores that strategic placement you mentioned. So this naturally brings up the question, what makes a site, worthy of this kind of global recognition?
Good question. What's the criteria?
Well, fundamentally, sites need to have outstanding universal value, and they have to meet at least 1 out of 10 specific selection criteria.
Okay.
And only countries that have signed the World Heritage Convention can actually nominate sites.
Right. You have to be part of the convention.
Exactly. Then the nominated site goes through independent evaluation. This is done by ICAMOS, the International Council on Monuments and Sites, and IUCN, the International Union for Conservation of Nature.
So external checks.
Rigorous checks. And the final decision, that's made by the World Heritage Committee. And interestingly, India is currently a member of that committee, serving from 2021 to 2025.
Okay. So we have a seat at the table making these decisions right now.
Precisely.
Let's shift to environment and wildlife now. This is pretty interesting. 2 species, the gharial and the sloth bear. They've been recommended for inclusion under the Species Recovery Program. This falls under the centrally sponsored Scheme for Integrated Development of Wildlife Habitats, the CSS-IDWH.
Okay, that's significant. And who recommended this?
This recommendation came from the Standing Committee of the National Board for Wildlife. That board itself is constituted under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972.
Got it. So part of the formal wildlife protection framework.
Exactly. So what does this mean for the gharial specifically? It's a unique crocodilian, lives in freshwater rivers.
Right, very distinct looking.
Major populations are in the Ganges tributaries, particularly the Chambal and Gurwa rivers in India, and also the Rapti-Narayani River over in Nepal.
And their conservation status really tells the story, doesn't it? Critically endangered, according to IUCN.
Critically endangered, that's serious.
Very. Plus, Schedule 3 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and Appendix 1T of sea sites. So highest level of protection.
Right.
Their features are quite unique too. That incredibly thin, long snout, the thinnest among all crocodilians.
And the gara.
Yes. The bulb on the adult male snout. And they are the most aquatic of all crocs. Their status, it's a real red flag for our river ecosystems.
A bioindicator, almost.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Their health reflects the river's health.
Okay, moving to the sloth bear. They're native to India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. Found across 5 biogeographic zones in India.
Widespread then.
Yeah, Peninsular India, Western Ghats, Deccan Plateau, Gangetic Plain, Northeast.
And their status?
Listed as vulnerable by IUCN. Also Schedule I under the WPA, 1972, and Appendix I of sites. So still highly protected, but vulnerable rather than critically endangered.
Okay. And they're those small bears, shaggy coat, mainly eating termites and ants.
That's them. Generally solitary nocturnal creatures.
Right. And the CSS-IDWH program they're being recommended for, what does it actually do?
It provides financial and technical help to state and union territory governments for wildlife conservation.
So funding and expertise.
Exactly. It covers support for protected areas, protecting wildlife outside protected areas, managing human-wildlife conflict.
Yeah, broad scope.
And crucially, these recovery programs for critically endangered species and habitats, 22 species were already identified under this before Gharial and Sloth Bear.
Like snow leopard, Asiatic lion.
Great Indian bustard.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kinds of high-profile threatened species.
Got it. So this is a structured program adding these two now.
Right. Now, let's widen the lens a bit on environmental issues. The UN Environment Program has a report out, Frontiers 2025, The Weight of Time.
Ah, yes. The Frontiers reports, they always highlight emerging issues, kind of an early warning.
Exactly. Before they become global crises. And this one points to several critical areas.
Outstanding out.
One is the reactivation of microbes in a warming cryosphere.
Ooh, okay. So microbes frozen in ice and permafrost.
Yes. Climate warming could release them into new environments. This might alter existing microbial communities, maybe introduce pathogens.
Or cause biodiversity loss. And these cold-loving microbes are called psychrophiles, right?
That's the term. Potential for unknown consequences there.
Definitely one to watch. What else?
River barriers. Dams, weirs, barrages, culverts, sluices, all types.
We know these have impacts.
Huge impacts. They modify water flow, temperature, affect habitat quality and quantity, mess with sediment transport downstream.
Displace communities, too, often indigenous ones.
And block fish movement, which is vital for many species.
But the report also offers solutions, right? I remember reading about barrier removals.
Yes, it recognizes barrier removals as an accepted strategy now to restore river health, reduce fragmentation.
Which affects, what was it, something like 89% of global river volume?
That's the staggering figure. So removing barriers helps restore that crucial connectivity.
A positive strategy, then.
Definitely. The report also flags the demographic challenge. Climate change risks like heat waves, air pollution, floods.
Hitting older adults disproportionately.
Yes, the increasing population of older adults is particularly vulnerable.
Makes sense.
And finally, the remobilization of legacy pollutants by floods.
Ah, stuff that's been sitting there for years. Heavy metals, persistent organic compounds.
Exactly. In water and sediment. Floods stir them up, they get into plants and animals through bioaccumulation.
And then move up the food chain, concentrating as they go. Biomagnification.
Right, leading to contaminated food chains.
It really drives home how interconnected these environmental issues are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can't really tackle one in isolation.
No, you really need that holistic view.
Requires comprehensive conservation strategies.
Okay, let's shift gears. Energy and infrastructure. Some interesting developments here, too.
All right.
The Uttarakhand Cabinet has approved the Uttarakhand Geothermal Energy Policy 2025.
Okay, Uttarakhand pushing for geothermal. That makes sense, given the Himalayan geology.
The policy aims to promote research, both scientific and technological, to explore and develop geothermal resources that are viable economically and environmentally.
And geothermal energy itself, just to recap, is that thermal heat from inside the Earth?
Exactly. Part residual heat from Earth's formation, part from ongoing radioactive decay in the core and mantle.
And we can harness it using technology for heating, cooling, generating electricity, even energy storage.
Right. Now, there are conventional geothermal technologies,
which tap into existing hydrothermal reservoirs, where heat is naturally carried up by fluids.
Yes. But then there are the next generation technologies. This is where it gets quite innovative.
Harvesting heat deeper down.
Much deeper, by circulating a fluid from the surface through engineered systems, so they don't need a natural hydrothermal reservoir.
Ah, like enhanced geothermal systems. EGS, and closed-loop geothermal systems, CLGS.
Those are the ones. They open up geothermal possibilities in many more locations.
What's India's potential here? Is it significant?
It seems to be. The Geothermal Atlas of India from 2022 estimates around 10,600 megawatts.
Wow, that's substantial.
Puga and Chumathang in Ladakh are flagged as the most promising fields right now.
Okay. And the benefits are pretty clear, I imagine.
Yeah, around-the-clock electricity generation, unlike solar or wind sometimes, high utilization rate over 75% in 2023, and low emissions.
Sounds great. But there must be challenges, too.
There are. Technology costs can still be relatively high. We need more R&D. There are some environmental concerns to manage during drilling and operation, and licensing processes can be complex.
Standard hurdles for newer energy tech, I suppose.
Pretty much, but India is actively working on it. There's the Geothermal Atlas, a dedicated task force.
Research programs.
Right. The Renewable Energy Research and Technology Development Program, RERTD, is looking into new geothermal tech, plus international cooperation.
Who are we partnering with?
Iceland is a big one, naturally. Right. Saudi Arabia, too. And there's a Renewable Energy Technology Action Platform, RETAP, with the USA.
So learning from global experience. And you mentioned specific spots earlier, Puga.
Yes, Puga, Manikaran, Sohana, Dholara, Tulsi Shayap, Ganeshpuri, Tua, Unai, Rajapur, Bakreshwar, Surajakund, Salabardi, Buga, Tatapani. Quite a few potential sites being looked at.
Okay, a lot happening in geothermal.
Definitely. Now, shifting gears again, but staying with energy and transport. Electric mobility. India has launched its first ever e-truck incentive scheme.
Focusing on trucks now. That's crucial for logistics emissions.
Exactly. It provides financial incentives for electric trucks under the bigger PM eDrive initiative.
And the goal is pretty straightforward. Get more e-trucks on the road.
Yep. Support deployment, encourage domestic manufacturing, and critically reduce logistics costs and that big carbon footprint from trucking.
And the numbers there are quite stark, aren't they? Diesel trucks are only about 3% of vehicles.
But contribute a massive 42% of transport-related greenhouse gas emissions. It's disproportionate.
So targeting them makes a lot of sense. What kind of trucks are covered?
It covers N2 category e-trucks, that's gross vehicle, weight over 3.5 tons up to 12 tons.
Okay, medium duty.
And N3 category GVW of 12 tons up to 55 tons. So heavier trucks too.
Right, and the incentive?
Maximum of 9.6 lakh rupees per vehicle. And it's offered as an upfront reduction.
So immediate cost benefit for buyers.
Should help adoption. And this all sits under the PM eDrive initiative. That's the Prime Minister's Electric Drive Revolution in Innovative Vehicle Enhancement.
Quite a name.
It is. The Ministry of Heavy Industries oversees it, and its focus is broad.
Not just trucks, then?
No. E2-wheelers, E3-wheelers, E-ambulances, E-trucks, E-buses, also charging infrastructure and EV testing.
A whole ecosystem approach.
That's the idea. Accelerate EV adoption, build charging infra, strengthen domestic manufacturing, and promote clean public transport.
How does this PM eDrive compare to the earlier FAME schemes? FAME 2, for instance.
It definitely expands the scope. FAME 2 didn't really cover e-trucks or e-ambulances in the same way. PM eDrive brings them in, plus a focus on public charging.
Okay, broader coverage.
And it introduces scrapping-linked incentives. That's mandatory for e-trucks. And it gives preference for e-bus deployment if linked to scrapping older vehicles.
Try to get older polluters off the road at the same time.
Seems to be a strategy. Plus, provisions for testing agencies to upgrade their facilities. So it feels like a more comprehensive push than FAME.
Right, a step up in the green mobility drive.
Definitely. Okay, let's move to our final section, a roundup of updates across global and national security, health, and governance.
Quite a miss here.
First, international relations. The Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement, TIPA.
With the EFTA countries. Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Norway, Iceland.
That's the one. The ratification process is complete, so it's ready for implementation.
And the big headline commitment there was the investment.
Great, yes. A binding commitment. $100 billion investment and 1 million direct jobs in India over the next 15 years.
Huge numbers.
Okay.
Plus IP commitments.
Commitments on intellectual property rights at the TRIPS level, so aligning with international standards.
It really highlights that trend of strategic economic partnerships, doesn't it? Locking in investment and trade flows.
Absolutely. Now, wildlife conservation and crime again. Assam Forest Department has started DNA profiling of rhino horns.
To add to the RhoDIS India library.
Exactly. Building that DNA database.
And RhoDIS itself, the Rhino DNA Index System India program, launched back in 2016. It's a powerful tool, isn't it?
Very powerful. A wildlife forensics tool. Helps investigate wildlife crime by creating unique genetic signatures for each rhino.
Developed by the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change, with WII, state forest departments, WWS India. Quite a collaboration.
It is, using science for enforcement.
Okay.
Global health next. WHO member states had their first meeting of the Intergovernmental Working Group on the WHO Pandemic Agreement.
The pandemic treaty discussions. This is crucial work.
It really is. The agreement aims to set out principles, approaches, tools, basically for better international coordination for pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response.
A key part being equitable access. Do vaccines, treatments, diagnostics.
That's central. Ensuring timely and fair access for everyone. The guiding principles are international humanitarian law, equity, solidarity, human rights.
It really puts global cooperation to the test, especially after recent experiences. A big question about how effective this framework will be in practice.
Indeed. Now, AI artificial intelligence. The Digital India Foundation, which is a founding member of ANET.
The AI Alliance Network.
Yes. They've objected to Pakistan's AI Technology Center applying for membership in AINet.
Okay. So some geopolitics entering AI networks. What is AINet exactly?
It's described as an informal, voluntary network, a community for members to exchange views, share info, expertise.
Aiming to accelerate AI development for prosperity and development.
That's the stated goal. Currently has 17 members, and it's administered by AI Alliance Russia.
Interesting dynamics there. Okay, shifting to something quite concerning, the fentanyl crisis.
Yes. U.S. President Donald Trump cited it to justify those 35% tariffs on Canada. The drug fueled over 112,000 U.S. overdose deaths in 2024 alone.
The numbers are just devastating. And fentanyl itself, it's incredibly potent.
Approved for medical use as an analgesic and anesthetic.
But it's roughly 100 times more potent than morphine, 50 times more potent than heroin as an analgesic.
That's hard to even comprehend. Street names like Apache, China Girl, Dance Fever.
And an overdose. Cold, clammy skin, cyanosis, coma, respiratory failure, leading to death. A massive public health crisis with clear international dimensions.
Truly tragic. Okay, defense tech now. DRDO and the Indian Air Force successfully tested the Astra Missile.
The one equipped with the indigenous radio frequency seeker.
That's it. Tested from a Su-30 MKI platform.
And Astra is India's own beyond visual range air-to-air missile, right? BVRAM?
Correct. Developed by DRDO, designed to take down highly maneuvering supersonic aircraft.
All-weather, day-and-night capability, range over 100 kilometers.
Yes, and equipped with advanced guidance and navigation. This successful test, especially with the indigenous seeker, is a big step for self-reliance in defense tech.
Absolutely, a significant milestone.
Now back to public health. Experts are warning the UN about a blanket trans fat ban.
Oh, what's the concern?
That it could potentially undermine nutrition in developing countries.
Okay, explain that. Trans fats, TFAs, they can be industrially produced through hydrogenation or occur naturally in meat and milk.
Right. And we know the health impacts are bad. They raise bad cholesterol, VLDL, and LDLC.
Which builds up in arteries, hardening them, increasing risk of heart attack, stroke.
Exactly. Also linked to inflammation, obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, some cancers. So the health reasons for banning them seem clear.
But the concern is about the alternatives, or affordability in developing nations.
It seems to be about the potential impact on food availability or the nutritional profile of alternatives, especially for vulnerable populations. It raises that tricky question of balancing public health goals with the practical realities in different global contexts.
The complex trade-off to navigate.
Indeed. Okay, national security brief. Intensive search operations are ongoing in the Pir Panjal Range. Security forces tracking fugitive terrorists.
The Pir Panjal Range. Strategically vital terrain in Jammu and Kashmir, isn't it?
Extremely. It's part of the Lesser Himalayas, sits between the Kashmir Valley and the Zanskar Range, extends from the Jhelum River to the Upper Bees.
Rises pretty high, up to 5,000 meters. Mostly volcanic rocks.
That's right. Important passes like Pir Panjal Pass, Banihal Pass run through it. And rivers like the Kishanganga, Jhelum, Chenab cut through the range.
Makes it challenging terrain for operations, but also strategically crucial to control.
Precisely. Finally, governance. The Interstate River Water Disputes Act, 1956, or ISRWD Act.
What's the update here?
The central government granted an extension to the Ravi and Beas Waters Tribunal. This tribunal was set up way back in 1986 under the Act.
To sort out water sharing between Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan.
That's its mandate. And the ISRWD Act itself was enacted by Parliament specifically for these kinds of disputes over interstate rivers.
Under Article 262 of the Constitution.
Yes, Article 262 empowers Parliament to make these laws. And a key feature of the Act is that it bars the Supreme Court or any other court from having jurisdiction once a dispute is referred to a tribunal under the Act.
So the tribunal's decision is paramount in those specific cases. It really highlights the legal mechanisms India has for managing these complex, often contentious issues of shared resources across state boundaries.
It does. A specific legal framework for a specific type of dispute.
Right.
Phew. What a deep dive that was. We've covered a huge amount today.
We really have.
From India's newest UNESCO jewel, the Maratha forts, critical species recovery for gharials and sloth bears,
to geothermal energy potential, the push for e-trucks.
and then that whole sweep of global and national updates, TEPA, RhoDIS, the pandemic agreement, fentanyl, Astra Missile, trans fats, pure punjal, river water disputes.
Yeah.
It's a lot from just July 13th, part 1.
It really is. And for you, the listener, the diligent learner preparing for UPSC, really understanding the nuances here, how these things connect. That's key.
It's not just knowing the facts.
No, it's about holistic, insightful preparation. Knowledge is most valuable when you can understand it, apply it, synthesize different bits of information, and spot those underlying patterns.
Well said. So, as you reflect on everything we've discussed today, here's a final thought to maybe mull over. Consider how the challenges posed by climate change, like those in the Frontiers 2025 report, melting cryosphere, stressed rivers, how might these challenges actually drive unexpected technological innovation?
Necessity being the mother of invention.
Kind of. Like India's push for geothermal or e-trucks isn't just about opportunity, it's also a response to environmental pressures.
Right. That's a great point. So the question is,
what new connections can you draw between these seemingly separate global challenges and the specific national responses or technological shifts we're seeing? How do threats and opportunities intertwine?
something to think about beyond just the headlines.
Exactly. We really hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights today. If you did find it useful, please do us that small favor, like and subscribe to The Deep Dive.
It genuinely helps us continue producing these detailed explorations for you.
Until next time, keep digging for knowledge.